Here are the 7 incredible secrets of the humble onion, a golden recipe to conquer disease and dementia that even pharmaceutical companies won't tell you. Only by understanding how to use it correctly can you truly protect your body. Can you imagine a 92-year-old man giving lectures every single day? Not just one, but sometimes 2 in a single day. It might sound unbelievable, but that is my life. Today, as I have for many years, I travel the country, speaking to eager crowds about the power of nutritional medicine. At 92, I still stand before lecture halls filled to capacity, sharing the knowledge I have spent a lifetime gathering. People always ask me, "Doctor, how can you live with such vitality at your age?" My answer is always the same, and it is rooted in one fundamental truth. The most basic foods on our table hold the power to heal our deepest ailments. More than anything else, one specific food, the onion, completely transformed my existence. What if I told you that a single onion, bought from any grocery store, it could be programmed to destroy cancer cells simply by cutting it and letting it rest for a few minutes? Would you believe me? What if I said that by not throwing away the papery skin and adding a splash of a particular oil, you could literally open up your blood vessels? You might laugh at the sheer simplicity of it all, but what I am about to share is not folklore. It is the culmination of over 3 decades of my personal and professional research. Perhaps your day, like so many others, begins with the sound of a pill bottle opening. High blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis. Has a cocktail of medications become the opening ritual to your morning? I know all too well how suffocating it feels to rely on daily prescriptions for your precious health. I, too, was once trapped in that cycle. Until my late 60s, I could not live without the array of medications my own colleagues prescribed for me. Though I was a physician, I had failed to manage my own health. High blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and debilitating joint pain were my constant companions. My day began by staring at a handful of pills. What a bitter irony it was to spend my days counseling patients on health and wellness, while I myself was completely dependent on pharmaceuticals. At my worst, my blood pressure regularly soared to 170/100 mmHg. My hemoglobin, A1C, a key marker for diabetes, was a dangerously high 7. My blood sugar was out of control, and my knees ached with such intensity that climbing a single step was an arduous, painful task. For over 30 years, I had studied and practiced medicine, yet my own health was on a relentless, downward spiral. Everything became catastrophically worse after my beloved wife passed away. The grief was a physical weight, and in its shadow, my health collapsed. I could barely eat. I survived on medication alone. Have you ever experienced a moment like that? A moment of such profound loss that you wish you could follow the one you lost. The loneliness and emptiness of being left behind is a feeling that words can scarcely capture. For 5 years, I simply existed, a shadow of my former self. Then one afternoon, my granddaughter, Clara, a bright young woman pursuing her Ph.D. in biochemistry, came to visit me. She held out a printed copy of a scientific paper from a foreign journal. Her eyes were bright with earnest hope. "Grandpa," she said gently, "I think this one simple thing, with an onion, it might change everything." My initial reaction was pure skepticism. I had lived my entire life as a man of medicine, steeped in the world of pharmacology and clinical trials. The notion that a common onion could alter the course of my complex, chronic diseases seemed utterly preposterous, but I saw the genuine conviction in Clara's face, the desperate love that had driven her to search for an answer for me. For her, I decided to try. The one thing I practiced, half believing, was almost laughably simple. Cut the onion, and then wait. The paper Clara brought me explained that when an onion is sliced, it must be exposed to the air for at least 10 minutes. This exposure, the study claimed, activated a powerful compound called allicin. As a medical researcher, my curiosity was piqued. I decided to follow the protocol precisely. The results were nothing short of miraculous. In just 1 week, my blood pressure dropped to 1.5 After a month, it was consistently around 14085. 3 months later, it had stabilized within the normal range of 13080. Even more astoundingly, the chronic, grinding pain in my knees began to recede, day by day, until it was gone. That an onion could possess such potent therapeutic power was a fact that I, a physician, had been completely unaware of. Did you know that a common vegetable sitting in your kitchen right now holds this kind of incredible potential? Isn't it astonishing that after decades of relying on a pharmacy of pills, my health began to return, thanks to one simple onion? That experience ignited a fire in me. I dedicated the next decade of my life to researching the onion. I gathered thousands of studies from around the world, meticulously analyzing the data and, most importantly, putting the principles into practice myself. I then began sharing this knowledge with my patients, thousands of them over the years. If you stay with me through this journey, you too will learn the 7 incredible secrets of the onion that my research has uncovered. Even if you only put one of these secrets into practice, you can bring about a profound change in your health. By understanding the hidden value in the foods we encounter every day, we may finally be able to break free from a life of dependency on medication. Secret it. The golden hour rule, the power of the patient slice. Did you know that if you chop an onion and immediately toss it into a hot pan, you are effectively destroying almost all of its medicinal value? This is a critical piece of information that is lost in most kitchens. When you cut an onion, you are physically breaking its cell walls. This damage initiates a fascinating chemical defense mechanism, an enzyme called alliinase, which was stored in one cellular compartment, is released and comes into contact with a compound called alliin, which was stored in another. This interaction triggers a rapid conversion of alliin into a new ithrion, powerful sulfur compound, allicin. This entire biochemical process requires a minimum of 10 minutes to reach its peak. Allicin is the superstar of the onion. It is one of the most potent antioxidant compounds found in our diet, renowned for its ability to improve blood circulation, lower cholesterol, and fight inflammation. The very reason an onion makes you cry is a testament to this powerful process. As the cells are ruptured, volatile sulfur compounds are released into the air and react with the moisture in your eyes, creating a mild sulfuric acid that causes the familiar stinging and tearing. Those tears are a sign that the onion's healing chemistry is being unleashed. So, in a way, the more an onion makes you cry, the more potent its health benefits are likely to be. I recall a patient of mine, a kind gentleman named David Chen. For years, he had been struggling with severe hypertension, a condition he'd had for nearly half his life. He was on a daily regimen of 3 different blood pressure medications, yet his readings remained stubbornly high and uncontrolled. The constant worry was taking a toll on him and his family. I explained to him this golden hour rule. He began a simple practice. Every day, he would slice his onion for dinner and then set a timer for 15 minutes before using it in his cooking. The results were astounding. After just 2 months, his doctor was able to take him off one of his medications. 6 months later, he was down to just a single, low-dose pill, and his blood pressure was finally stable. So, after you slice your onion, you must let it rest for at least 10 to 15 minutes. The way you cut it also matters. For maximum allicin production, you want to cause as much cell damage as possible. Slicing the onion horizontally into thin rings, rather than vertically into wedges, will rupture more cells. Think of it as shaving thin sheets from the onion. The more surface area you create, the more allicin is generated. If you're short on time, you can even pre-slice your onion and store it in an airtight container in the refrigerator. The allicin will have already been activated and will remain stable for a day or 2. However, there is a crucial caveat. Allicin is sensitive to heat. If you immediately sauté the onion on high heat, the allicin will be destroyed. It is best to cook it slowly over medium-low heat. Of course, eating it raw provides the maximum benefit, but the pungency can be too intense for many people. A light sauté or a quick pickling can soften the flavor while preserving most of the vital compounds. How have you been cooking your onions until now? Perhaps you've been slicing them and immediately throwing them into the fire. Starting today, I urge you to try giving them a 10-minute rest. Those 10 short minutes can make an enormous difference in your health. Secret 2. The papery gold. Why you must never throw away the peel. For most of us, the dry, papery outer layers of an onion are considered kitchen waste, destined for the trash or compost bin. But what if I told you that by throwing away the peel, you are discarding the most nutritionally dense part of the entire vegetable? The humble onion peel is a veritable treasure trove of 2 powerful phytonutrients, quercetin and anthocyanins. Quercetin is a potent antioxidant flavonoid that has been extensively studied for its ability to reduce inflammation, boost the immune system, and protect against chronic diseases. The astonishing fact is that the dry, outer skin of an onion contains 30 to 50 times more quercetin than the fleshy part you eat. This makes it one of the most concentrated natural sources of this incredible compound on the planet, with an antioxidant power that surpasses even green tea. In purple and red onions, the skin is also packed with anthocyanins, the pigments that give them their vibrant color. These compounds are renowned for strengthening blood vessels and protecting our vision. Let me tell you about Mrs. Maria Flores, a patient who had been battling both type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure for 20 years. Her life was a constant struggle with fatigue and worry. On my recommendation, she began to utilize onion peels. She carefully washed and dried the skins, ground them into a fine powder in a coffee grinder, and mixed 1 teaspoon of this powder into her food every day, sprinkling it on her rice, in her soups, and on her salads. 3 months later, she went for her routine checkup. Her fasting blood sugar had dropped from 156 mg/L to a much healthier 123 mg/L, and her blood pressure had stabilized significantly. To this day, Mrs. Flores sends me a card every year, thanking me for how the simple act of using food garbage allowed her to reduce her medication and reclaim her vitality. Utilizing the peel is simple. Wash and dry. Thoroughly wash the onion to remove any dirt. Then, let the peels dry completely. You can spread them on a baking sheet and leave them in a sunny spot for a day or 2, or dry them in a low-temperature oven until they are brittle. It is crucial that they are completely dry to prevent mold. Grind. Once bone dry, pulverize the peels into a fine powder using a spice grinder or a high-powered blender. Store and use. Store the powder in an airtight glass jar. It will keep for up to 6 months. You can add a teaspoon of this nutrient-dense powder to almost anything: soups, stews, rice, bread dough, smoothies. It has a very mild flavor and will not noticeably affect the taste of your food, but it will dramatically increase its nutritional value. Another wonderful use is to make onion peel tea. Simply take a handful of dried peels, place them in a teapot, and pour boiling water over them. Let it steep for about 5 to 10 minutes. The resulting tea has a beautiful amber color, a slightly sweet and unique aroma, and is packed with antioxidants. A cup a day can be a wonderful tonic for your health. A crucial note on pesticides: since you will be using the outermost layer, it is important to wash it thoroughly. If possible, use organically grown onions. If you are using conventional onions, I recommend soaking them in a solution of water and vinegar for about 30 minutes before rinsing them well. Also, individuals with kidney disease should limit their intake to no more than half a teaspoon per day due to the concentrated minerals. Think about it. How many hundreds of onion peels have you thrown away in your lifetime? Starting today, I hope you will see this papery skin in a new light. The trash you were discarding may just be the natural medicine your body has been waiting for. Secret 3. The Power Trio. 3 foods that create miracles with onions. While the onion is a powerhouse on its own, its benefits can be amplified exponentially when paired with certain synergistic foods. There are 3 combinations in particular that I have found to be extraordinarily effective: the vascular virtuoso, onion, and perilla oil. When the allicin from an onion meets the rich omega-3 fatty acids in perilla oil, a remarkable synergy occurs. This combination is a formidable force against inflammation and a powerful tonic for strengthening your blood vessels. It is particularly effective at dissolving harmful cholesterol and triglyceride buildup within the arteries. Perilla oil is exceptionally rich in a type of omega-3 called alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. When ALA and allicin work together, they significantly lower levels of bad LDL cholesterol, prevent the formation of dangerous blood clots, and dramatically reduce the risk of cardiovascular diseases like heart attack and stroke. The case of Mr. A.T. Tome, Frank Miller, stands out in my memory. He was facing a daunting prognosis. His arteries were severely clogged, and his cardiologist was strongly recommending stent surgery. Frank was terrified of the procedure. As we discussed alternatives, I told him about the onion and perilla oil combination. For 3 months, he diligently consumed a dish of onions sautéed in perilla oil every single day. When he returned for his preoperative angiogram, his doctors were stunned. The condition of his blood vessels had improved so dramatically that the surgery was no longer deemed immediately necessary. Frank was overcome with emotion. "I never imagined," he told me, his voice thick with gratitude, "that simply frying an onion in a different kind of oil every morning could save me from surgery." The protective partner. Onion and meat. When you cook meat, especially at high temperatures like grilling or frying, carcinogenic compounds can form. Onions act as a natural antidote. The sulfur compounds in onions help to neutralize these harmful substances and also aid in the proper digestion and absorption of the protein from the meat. Even more fascinating is a specific chemical reaction that occurs when onions and meat are cooked together. It generates a unique compound that has been shown to help prevent cognitive decline and dementia. So, the next time you make burgers or meatballs, be sure to mix in plenty of finely chopped onion. It not only enhances the flavor, but also transforms the dish into a protective meal for your brain. The heart's companion. Onion and red wine. Both onions and red wine are rich in powerful antioxidants. When consumed together, their anti-aging effects are magnified. This combination is especially beneficial for heart health. Red wine contains a famous antioxidant called resveratrol, while onions, as we know, are packed with quercetin. When these two compounds meet, they work synergistically to reduce inflammation in the lining of the blood vessels, improve blood flow, and provide robust protection against heart disease. Incorporating these combinations is easy. Use perilla oil for your sautéing. When you grill or roast meat, always include onions. And with your dinner, enjoy a small glass of red wine, alongside a dish that features onions. A word of caution is necessary. Of course, wine should be consumed in moderation. No more than 1 5-ounce glass per day for women, and up to 2 for men. If you are taking heart or blood pressure medication, please consult your doctor before incorporating wine into your routine. For a delicious and simple recipe, try perilla seared onion rings. Slice an onion into 1 centimeter thick rings. Heat a tablespoon of perilla oil in a skillet over medium heat and sear the rings for about 5 minutes per side. Until tender and lightly browned, top with minced garlic and sesame seeds. It's a fantastic snack or side dish. What foods do you typically eat with onions? I encourage you to try these 3 powerful combinations. The change in your health might just be a miracle. Secret fire. Toxic trios. Combinations that can turn onions into poison. As beneficial as onions are, the wrong preparation or combination can negate their effects and even cause harm to your health. There are 3 specific scenarios to be highly cautious of. The danger of concentrated onion juice. Many health trends promote juicing vegetables to get a concentrated dose of nutrients. With onions, this is a dangerous mistake. Grating an onion and squeezing out the juice creates a highly potent concoction that can place a significant burden on your kidneys. The warming properties of the onion become so intense in this concentrated form that it can paradoxically worsen high blood pressure. The risk of concentrated onion juice is something many people overlook. The potent compounds, delivered in such a high dose, can overwork the liver and kidneys and cause severe irritation to the digestive tract. For individuals with pre-existing high blood pressure or kidney issues, it is particularly hazardous. One glass of onion juice can be equivalent to consuming several whole onions, leading to an easy overdose. I once treated a young man named Tom Sullivan. He had read about the miracle benefits of onion juice on an internet forum and began drinking a glass every day. Within a month, he came to me feeling unwell. A urine test revealed proteinuria, a sign of kidney damage, and his kidney function had declined. Fortunately, by immediately stopping the onion juice and undergoing treatment, he made a full recovery. Tom's case is a stark reminder of how dangerous concentrated extracts can be. He later admitted, with regret, "I just believed the hype that it was healthy, without thinking that too much of a good thing could be harmful." The deceptive duo, onion and honey. A syrup made from cooking onions and honey together is a common folk remedy for coughs. However, long-term consumption of this mixture can potentially cause toxicity to the retina of the eye. For individuals with diabetes, the rapid spike in blood sugar from the concentrated sugars is another significant risk. When cooked together at high temperatures, the beneficial enzymes in raw honey are destroyed, and the mixture can put a strain on the body's glucose metabolism. The carcinogenic crisp, fried onions. When an onion is cooked at high temperatures, as in deep frying, a harmful chemical reaction occurs, creating a compound called acrylamide, which is a known carcinogen. Those delicious onion rings or the crispy fried onions sprinkled on top of dishes should be consumed with extreme caution, if at all. Deep frying not only creates harmful chemicals, but also destroys most of the onion's nutrients. The process introduces unhealthy trans fats, turning a healing vegetable into a substance that is actively detrimental to your health. To get the full nutritional benefit, it is far better to sauté, roast, or steam your onions. It is also wise not to overconsume raw onions, especially if you have a sensitive stomach. A good general guideline is to eat no more than half of a medium-sized onion per day. This is particularly important for the elderly and those with underlying health conditions. Finally, if you are taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin or aspirin, please consult your doctor before significantly increasing your onion intake. Have you been consuming onions in any of these ways? For the sake of your health, I strongly advise you to avoid these combinations. Even the best foods must be consumed correctly to reap their benefits. Secret Fem. Chrononutrition. Why the time of day you eat onions matters. The effects of an onion on your body can change dramatically depending on when you eat it. The most ideal and effective time to consume an onion is 30 minutes before your lunch. Eating an onion at this specific time does several remarkable things. It helps to suppress the spike in blood sugar that typically follows a meal. It creates a feeling of fullness, which helps to prevent overeating. It stimulates the secretion of digestive enzymes to aid digestion, and it supports overall gut health. The reason for this pre-lunch magic lies in the onion's ability to enhance insulin sensitivity. The chromium and sulfur compounds in onions work together to improve the efficiency of your body's insulin, which helps to blunt the post-meal glucose surge. Furthermore, eating the onion before the main meal triggers the release of hormones in the stomach that signal satiety to the brain, naturally reducing your overall calorie intake. On the other hand, eating an onion first thing in the morning on an empty stomach can cause an oversecretion of gastric acid, leading to heartburn and indigestion. Eating onions late at night, especially after 9 p.m., can also be problematic. Onions have a thermogenic effect, meaning they can raise your body temperature and stimulate your metabolism. This is the opposite of what your body needs when it's trying to wind down for sleep, and it can lead to insomnia. Let me share the story of Ms. the Canner, Helen Carter. She was suffering from chronic insomnia and, having heard about the health benefits of onions, she started adding a large portion of them to her dinner every evening. To her dismay, her insomnia only grew worse, and she noticed her blood pressure was also creeping up. Following my advice, she shifted her onion consumption to 30 minutes before lunch. The change was dramatic. Her sleep quality improved significantly, and her blood pressure stabilized. I learned that it's not just what you eat, she told me, but when you eat it, that can make all the difference. A practical tip is to eat just a small amount of onion before lunch to see the blood sugar stabilizing effects. half of a small onion, thinly sliced in a salad, or a few spoonfuls of a light onion soup are excellent methods. If your stomach is sensitive, make sure the onion is lightly cooked, which will reduce its pungency. A pre-lunch onion soup is one of the best options. Thinly slice an onion and sauté it gently in perilla oil until soft and translucent. Add water or broth, simmer for 10 minutes, and season with a little salt and pepper. Drinking a small bowl of this soup 30 minutes before your main lunch can be a tremendous aid for blood sugar control and digestion. However, if you have gastritis or a stomach ulcer, you must avoid eating onions on an empty stomach. In this case, it is best to eat a small amount of well-cooked onion during your meal. And everyone, especially those with insomnia, should avoid eating onions within 3 hours of bedtime. When during the day do you normally eat your onions? Try shifting them to 30 minutes before lunch. You may be amazed by the changes you feel. Secret 6. A spectrum of health. How onion color determines its power. Not all onions are created equal. Their color is a clue to their unique nutritional profile and specific health benefits. Purple red onions. The cancer fighters' purple onions are rich in the powerful antioxidants called anthocyanins, which give them their deep, vibrant hue. These compounds have been shown to have superior anti-cancer effects. They are particularly helpful in the prevention of cancers of the colon and stomach. The ability of purple onions to scavenge harmful free radicals is more than 20% higher than that of other onion varieties. The anthocyanins in purple onions work by inhibiting the growth of cancer cells and promoting apoptosis, the body's natural process of programmed cell death for damaged cells. They are also excellent for eye health, helping to prevent age-related macular degeneration. I worked with a patient, Mrs. Eleanor Vance, who had received an early-stage colon cancer diagnosis. Alongside her conventional cancer treatment, she made a conscious choice to overhaul her diet. She began to diligently consume purple onions every single day. 6 months later, her follow-up scans showed that the growth of the cancer cells had been suppressed to a degree that surprised her oncologist. Of course, the onion alone did not cure her cancer, but it undoubtedly played a significant role in supporting her treatment and enhancing its effectiveness. Mrs. Vance told me, eating my purple onion every day became an important part of my therapy. It was something I could do to actively fight back. Yellow onions. The heart protector's yellow onions have the highest concentration of quercetin, making them the best choice for cardiovascular health. Quercetin helps to lower blood pressure and improve cholesterol levels. Yellow onions, which have a balanced, slightly sweet flavor, are also rich in vitamin C and selenium, making them great for strengthening the immune system. White onions. The blood sugar balancer's white onions contain the highest levels of the sulfur compound allicin, making them the most effective choice for blood sugar control. This makes them particularly beneficial for people with diabetes. White onions also have the strongest antibacterial and antiviral properties, making them an excellent food for preventing colds and flu. Allicin acts as a powerful natural antibiotic, inhibiting the growth of harmful bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella. To maximize your benefits, choose your onion based on your health goals. For general cancer prevention, purple onions. If you are concerned about heart disease, yellow onions. If you have diabetes or are prone to infections, white onions. Even better, rotate between all 3 colors. Each one provides a unique profile of compounds that will offer a wide spectrum of health benefits. A simple recipe for a tricolor health salad is to thinly slice purple, yellow, and white onions and toss them with olive oil, a squeeze of lemon juice, and a pinch of salt and pepper. This allows you to get the benefits of all 3 at once. However, remember that the more colorful the onion, the more pungent it tends to be. Purple onions are typically the sharpest, followed by white, and then yellow. If you have a sensitive palate or stomach, cooking them will mellow the flavor. What color of onion have you been eating? Try choosing the color that best matches your health needs. Let the vibrant colors of these onions paint a picture of diverse health for you. Secret 2. The alchemical technique. How one cooking method turns onions into medicine. how you cook an onion can radically alter its therapeutic properties. The single most effective and powerful cooking method is caramelization. When you slice an onion horizontally and cook it slowly over low to medium heat, the natural sugars within the onion begin to caramelize. During this slow transformation, the onion's antioxidant compounds are preserved to the maximum extent. The scientific changes that occur during caramelization are astonishing. As the onion is gently heated, its cellular structure breaks down, which can increase the bioavailability of quercetin by up to 30%. This means your body can absorb and utilize much more of it. Furthermore, as the sugars caramelize, new, potent antioxidant compounds are formed, further enhancing the onion's immune-boosting effects. Mr. George Petrov was a patient who suffered from angina, experiencing frequent and frightening chest pains. After I taught him the caramelization method, he began eating slowly cooked onions every day. After 3 months, his symptoms had improved so remarkably that he could walk for miles without pain. It felt tedious at first, spending so long cooking an onion, he said, but when I saw what it did for my health, I realized that time was the best investment I could ever make. Many of my patients, like George, have told me that the caramelized onions have been more effective for them than their prescriptions. Here is the art of caramelization. Slice correctly. Slice your onion horizontally into thin rings, about 3 to 5 millimeters thick. Gentle heat. Heat a tablespoon of perilla or olive oil in a heavy-bottomed skillet over medium heat. Add the onions, and then immediately reduce the heat to low. Patience is key. Cook the onions slowly for 15 to 20 minutes, stirring occasionally. You must be patient. Rushing the process will cause the onions to burn and become bitter, destroying the nutrients. The final steam, when the onions have turned a rich brown color and release a sweet, intoxicating aroma. Cover the pan, turn off the heat, and let them steam for another 5 minutes. This final step helps to lock in the flavor and nutrients. The key to perfect caramelization is patience. The slow, gentle heat transforms the onion's pungency into a deep, savory sweetness, making it delicious even for those who dislike the taste of raw onions. You can use these caramelized onions in countless ways. Add them to salads, serve them alongside steak or fish, or stir them into soups and stews. I recommend making a large batch at once. They can be stored in the refrigerator for up to a week and used to instantly elevate any dish. The crucial points are to avoid high heat and to allow ample time. There is no need to add sugar. The onion's natural sweetness is more than enough. If you find the onions starting to stick, you can add a tablespoon of water to the pan to deglaze it, which prevents burning and creates a softer texture. How have you been cooking your onions? I implore you to try this caramelization method. It will not only improve the taste of your food but will transform it into a more powerful medicine. A small change in the kitchen can lead to a monumental change in your health. Epilogue, the wisdom of a humble root. My journey back to health, and the decades of research that followed, all began with one simple vegetable. The onion is truly the medicine of the common table, but if eaten incorrectly, it can contribute to illness. Only by understanding it and eating it correctly can you unlock 100% of its profound benefits. Let us summarize the 7 secrets one last time. Cut and wait. Always let your sliced onion rest for at least 10 minutes to activate the healing power of allicin. Never waste the peel. Use the quercetin-rich skin as a powder or in a tea. Embrace synergy. Pair onions with perilla oil, meat, and red wine to multiply their benefits. Avoid toxic combinations. Steer clear of concentrated onion juice, cooked onion-honey mixtures, and deep-fried onions. Time it right. Consume your onion 30 minutes before lunch for the greatest effect. Choose your color. Select purple, yellow, or white onions based on your specific health goals. Master caramelization. Cook your onions slowly over low heat to maximize their sweetness and nutrient bioavailability. Now you know the secret to how I am able to live and work with such vigor at 92 years of age. It is not complicated. The power to protect your health can be found in a single, simple ingredient. True health does not come from grand, expensive gestures. It is born from the small, consistent habits we cultivate in our daily lives. The ordinary onion in your kitchen can be an extraordinary medicine. Today, you have learned this truth. So, where will you begin? Will you start by letting your onion rest? By saving the peel? Or by trying the art of caramelization? Whatever you choose, the most important thing is to start now. Your health begins with the small change you make today. The next time you see an onion on your kitchen counter, look at it with new eyes. And tomorrow, look forward to the changes that this humble root can bring to your life. If you start now, where will you be a year from today? Perhaps your blood pressure will be lower. Perhaps you'll be enjoying long walks without pain in your knees. You will be living a more vibrant, energetic, and healthy life. Health is in your hands. It's in your kitchen. It's in your next meal.